He's handsome.
Good evening, folks. Welcome back. It's been a while, like we said, we've been just trying to get to do things, and we're into the hunting season, and we finished up our camping season, so it's been busy. We've been devoting a lot of our time out in the Maine woods with hunting this year, so hopefully this weekend we can get a video of that out for you guys and get back on track here. We miss everybody. If you know anybody that hey, have them subscribe and like our page for us on there. But
we're talking about doing a podcast, but rather than go to a podcast station, we're just gonna kind of do it as YouTube videos for the time being. Maybe do something else later. So we're gonna come up with some topics and probably later on have guests and whatnot. But we thought we'd just start out tonight just talking a little bit about hunting. We did have that one hunting video, but we've been up more since then and had more experiences. So we thought we'd just kind of talk about that at this point and what some of our initial plans are for winter.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about that, what we've done. Let's just kind of go back to beginning of archery season, huh?
Yeah.
Geez, archery season we bought the crossbow.
Yes,
like
what's
we
our
said.
crossbow? Tell them. It's
And
amazing.
We bought the Raven.
Yeah.
That was been a great crossbow. Sarah fit into it really well, adjusted to it well.
Yeah.
So we started with that, and I got out the first Saturday of hunting season, and I got out there first week. Was it the first week or the second week of archery season when
I shot mine the third week, so you had to be the second.
Second week. I went out the first week, nothing. Went out the second week. Hunted. I hunted hard for the first week. The second week, I went into a field, and we've been seeing deer on the trail cameras there. So I saw this one prior. I actually saw it the night before on the trail camera.
That's right.
So we got that. I got that little buck that was 106 pounds. Great shot. It only went probably 20 yards in the woods, so that was a great shot on that one, and knocked it down. So we didn't have to chase that one through the woods for hours and hours on there. And I'll let Sarah talk kind of about what her hunting experience went with the doe that she shot this year.
Yep. So yeah, we had to share the crossbow because we only have one, and that's fine. I went out when I could during the week and let him have the weekends and a couple days off. But where I was hunting was a very small area, like 6 acres. And we had seen, in total, we've seen 4 bucks and 3 does come through. And none of the bucks ever came through during legal hours. So I kind of said, probably the larger of the 3 does I was gonna get, unless I happened to see one of the bucks in 3 weeks and I hadn't seen a buck. So, and I seen the does a couple times but couldn't get a shot. And I went out one morning well before legal time, and I just started sitting, and a few minutes before I just see these silhouettes crossing. I'm like, sweet, there they are. And I knew where they were gonna go, and I heard them just milling around in this area with acorns. And I could tell, I'm like, there's one right there, and the bigger ones always tended to be out in the front. So I pulled up and I waited until the light, even a few minutes after legal time, I still couldn't really see. And I pulled up and I could only see her face. I'm like, come on. And I held there for so long, and finally she determined it was safe and took a few steps, and it was like 30 yards. So that was an easy shot. She spun around a couple times, and I heard a crash. And I texted Brandon and let him know. But I sat there and I heard noise in the woods. I'm like, is that the other ones hanging around, or did she not drop? So we waited a little bit and stood up, and there was definitely no deer there. So we went, and it was kind of funny. We were looking. I'm like, oh, I found some blood. I'm holding up a leaf. He's looking somewhere else. We're looking everywhere. She was laying there 10 feet from me in the 15, 20 minutes we were looking. Like, that's embarrassing. But yeah, I was really happy. She was probably dead in seconds, which is what you want. And I was super happy with that.
You put a great shot on that deer. That was, that's the thing too. You always want to take your time. I'll get into it in a minute about taking your time and really wait for your shot, because it's important how that shot is, right? Because the worst thing you want to do is have to call for a tracking dog. Yeah. Or you have to chase it through the woods, and now you're just pushing it all day. That's not fun. Been there, done that. But Yeah, I mean, she did a heck of a job with that deer. I mean, you've been successful. The rest of the year, you've seen a bunch of deer this
Oh,
year.
I saw so many that I couldn't legally shoot. But now I have a doe permit that I can still fill. And, you know, we would definitely use one more. So if one of us gets one, then the other one's done.
'Cause you
We
got-
would never use 4. The only thing I can do is use my doe permit. So I've been going over there. I saw one, but it's been packed with hunters. I get there real early and sit, and then hunters come through, some sounding like herds of elephants. And so that hasn't been great. But this week I've got a couple days I'm going to be able to get out for the whole day. And midweek, hopefully, I can have a place to myself and see something.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like she said, she has a doe tag. I got 2 more for 2 different zones. So, I mean, we still got plenty of hunting left of the
Yeah.
year. Yesterday I went out and I was really feeling a place. If your gut tells you go there, go there. Because I'm telling you, I did that yesterday. My gut told me go someplace. I went there. I saw a deer about 300 to 400 yards out. And I pulled up, confirmed it was a deer, saw it pull its head up, so I scooted through the woods a little bit, and I went around, and I got down to a spot, and it kind of reined back into the woods. So it wasn't like the tail up, kind of scooted into the woods a little bit. So I kind of scooched down and said, you know what, I'm just going to wait here for a minute. If I can hear it, or maybe it'll come out. Well, I got up there, and sure as enough, that deer turned around, came back out, and she turned around, she locked her eyes on me, I locked eyes on her, but the only thing I had was a head shot. And again, like I said, about rushing your shot, getting the right shot, I took a shot that I probably should have waited on, and unfortunately I did miss. I might have shot over the top of her or left to the right of her, so I missed a shot. Rushed it. I thought maybe she was going to turn when she saw me, run back in the woods, so I took it. It wasn't probably the right thing to do. So always,
don't do that.
wait, because those deer will. I know it's a waiting game, a staring
Yeah.
game, but wait a little bit. They will. They
Yeah.
should turn and she can get a nice shot on it.
I can confirm that because this year and last year, that's what happened to me. Last year, the doe popped out and I could see just a little of her neck and her whole head. I think I was pulled up on her for a solid 10 minutes and my arms were getting really tired. But then she determined that it was safe and she stepped out. Same thing happened this year. Fortunately, I was not holding the crossbow a full 10 minutes, but it was long enough that I really wanted to put it down. But she, I was motionless and she determined it was safe and stepped forward so I could get a shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is just
So I think we got, what, 2
Patience.
more weeks, maybe?
2 more weeks of rifle, and we have 2 muzzle loaders. I don't know that we'll get muzzle loader licenses, maybe. We'll see.
Well, maybe.
Yeah.
I know we want to get onto the trapping, but
Yes.
the hunting has really taken the priority this year.
Yeah.
I mean, we do it. It's a sport, right? And we like doing the sport, but we like to do it to fill the freezer.
Yes.
It's expensive enough going to the grocery store and have to buy steak, hamburger, and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So we that's why we do it, to
Yeah.
put meat in the freezer.
Process our own deer. We already have everything we need. The cost
Yeah.
really isn't much.
No, I mean, learn how to do it. I mean, we are probably far from butchers, but
We're butchers, all right.
well, we butcher it all right. But I mean, we get it to where we look like, oh, that might be good for this, or might be good for that, and still taste the same.
Yeah, it does. They don't look pretty, but what does it matter?
Yeah.
And this girl, Brandon took her back to where he shot his deer. It was only 20 yards, but she did a perfect track. Perfect. I've done some work with her with the blood from my deer, and she did pretty good redirection, but she made it to the end several times. Sometimes she's less interested, sometimes she's more interested, but we're looking for if anybody cannot get a licensed tracking deer. Katahdin is not licensed. She's not all that experienced, but when you can't get a licensed deer, which tracking dog, sometimes having one that at least has some experience, you have a chance. You have much less chance, but if you really can't find your deer, we can always just go take
Yeah.
her not as somebody with a licensed tracking dog, but as a friend helping out.
Yeah. So
Yep.
we'll help out as much as we can. Because end of the day, especially the kids or your first deer you shot, you think you got a good shot on it, you got a little blood, and and if that gets into, you can't see it, right?
Yeah.
And it's very discouraging when that happens to you. We've been in that position ourselves.
Yeah.
And and wish that we had a dog. We got one, but
Yep.
the same thing. It was a pup. It was just training.
And she got us further down the trail. She found quite a few blood spots that we had. Still didn't get to the deer, but Yeah, but you know, I mean, her odds of finding one not super high, but better than not having one at all.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, geez, we got the hunting, we got that.
Yeah.
Ice fishing season's right around the corner.
I know.
Wow, I mean, holy crap, guys, where the year's flown by. It feels like it
Yeah.
was just summer,
Yeah.
like 3 weeks ago. But
Yeah. We
we're-
were unable to do any overnight trips last year due to circumstances. This year, we're going to be
get
able
some.
to.
Yeah, follow us.
Yeah.
We are going to get some overnights in
Yeah.
and some places where, you know, we've always wanted to go. So we're excited about that. You know, we want to get some new things for ice fishing this year.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you guys subscribe and watch these videos, it does help.
It does.
Because that will help with the budget of, you know, purchasing new things. And
Yeah.
so we can break it down for you folks and tell you how it works and our experience with it. So definitely, you know, like and subscribe on there. And, yeah, so we can get out there and do some
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
And like I
Let
said,
us know what your plans are for ice fishing. If you
Yeah.
have any place special you're gonna go that you'll say to other people that you're not keeping secret.
yeah,
Yeah, we're still very early in our planning stages, and we got to figure out what we're gonna have for time, how far we can go for overnights. We do have one remote pond we're looking at doing at the beginning of January. Well, as soon as the ice is good enough for a snowmobile, but it's pretty far north, so that won't
Yeah.
take us long.
I mean, that's the biggest thing is we can get into places with a snowmobile too.
Yeah.
I mean, that cuts the walk time definitely in half
Oh
and
my God, yeah.
on that. So, but
Yeah.
no, we're ready for the winter months to get here so we can enjoy the outdoors as much as we
Definitely.
do as hunting season.
And I don't know what she's smelling on me, but I am fascinating.
And another thing too is, you know, I watched another video, and very inspiring video. Put the time in. You might
Yeah.
not get the deer, right? But get out in the woods. Be consistent with those spots. It will happen eventually. Believe me, it will
Yeah. happen.
Keep on going. It might not happen this year, but it might happen on there. So
And-
keep
yeah.
on digging. Keep on,
Yeah.
just be consistent with it.
It's very frustrating when you're not as knowledgeable and don't get any, or even when you are and you're just not seeing anything. But the more time you're out there and the more you learn for deer sign and where you should hunt, the more you know, the more likely you are to see
Yeah.
something. And the more time you put in, it's going to happen.
It's gonna happen. I know it's frustrating, right? Your buddies get big deer, the big buck, and like, man, they get one every year. It's like, what am I doing wrong?
Yeah.
What am I doing wrong? Go, like I said, back to the video. You have an instinct, hunt it.
Oh, big time. I screwed up yesterday. Everything was telling me to go to this one spot where I'd been seeing more and more deer sign, and I had thought that I had been hearing them from where I was sitting. But on my walk in, I heard a buck grunt. And I said, well, maybe there's more deer in there. I couldn't get a buck, but maybe the doe will come into him. So I sat in that area. Nothing. Later, I went back through where I had been going to go. There was very fresh deer sign.
Yeah.
There were brand new tracks. Had I gone up there, maybe I would have gotten one. Gone with my instinct, but every time I don't go with my instinct, it's a mistake.
Yeah, and again, is look for the pawrings, look for the scrapings.
Yeah.
You know, look for those beds. If you get into those spots, you know, you're gonna be more successful. Where I've been hunting,
Oh, yeah.
it's really swamp, and there's some softwoods in there, and there's a lot of good deer path that are coming in there. So that's probably been my major concern. I've heard people saying right now that the deer are in the acorns right now, and they're eating the acorns.
Oh, they are down. Yeah. Yes, they are down there in the acorns. And the other thing I was going to say that I like where I go, I've learned kind of where they spend the night, where they spend the day, which is kind of just me putting in a whole lot of time exploring. And those paths in between, like while they're coming out of here in the morning, they're coming out of there in the late afternoon. So now I know where to sit. And if I get some time out there without a whole bunch of other people out there, I have a sneaking suspicion I'm gonna see them. You just gotta learn that they don't always take the same routes every day, but they are pretty consistent. If you figure out where they're traveling,
Yeah.
they're gonna go that way again.
And right now, you know, the deer are definitely in the rut. I believe they're in a rut.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they're chasing those does right now. So
I've never heard as much buck grunting as I have in the past few times I've gone out. Like, wow.
like I said, I think I'm definitely gonna get out Tuesday and put a full day in Tuesday
Yeah.
out in the woods.
Yeah. Tuesday and me Thursday. We've got a pretty big storm coming in Thursday, so I'm gonna sit right out there. Because they will, you know, when that rain starts and the wind picks up, they're probably gonna be moving quite a bit.
Yeah. Pack your backpack.
Yeah.
Definitely have water, food.
Yeah.
You know, some stuff in case, you know, stuff goes south. You have a
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
a little bit of emergency kit. I mean, I carry my backpack all the time when
I
I
do
go out. But no,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Hey,
And let us know if you've been successful this hunting season.
Yeah,
We'd
show us
love
some
to
pictures.
hear. Even if you've done better than us, that's okay.
yeah, show us some pictures. Love to see those pictures.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, if we see a picture, we'll share it right on our channel.
Yep,
You know,
absolutely.
definitely,
Yeah,
and
we'd
tag-
love to
And
tell.
tag you in
yeah.
it, tag your friends in it.
Yeah.
That this, you know, video on there, and you love those big bucks. Seen some pieballs being shot this year.
Yeah.
So if you don't know what a piebald deer is, it's a lot of white with a little brown with it.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's kind of cool seeing those. But I haven't really. I mean, I've heard some stories, but I haven't seen really any big deer getting tagged
I
this
just
year.
yeah, a few, but it doesn't seem. It seems like there's just so many small ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of a, you know, before we cut this short here tonight, tell you about a story. I shot my buck. It was
Yeah.
106 pounds, a 2-pointer, right side rack only on it.
Yeah.
2 weeks later, my niece shoots one, 106 pounds, right side rack. The left one was missing. That was same size deer. And 2 weeks ago, my niece's boyfriend shot one. It was a 4-pointer. Both
Yeah.
sides
Same
were
small
there,
antlers though.
but another one at 105. So three of us shot our deer in the same spot, and the deer's just not that big in that area.
Oh, I'm thinking they could have been triplets because that does happen.
Yeah.
It was the exact same spot.
Same exact spot. So, but
Yeah.
hey,
So, if you haven't, you can like us on Facebook. Our Facebook page is up. The Facebook Messenger is defunct, so don't try to contact us through that. I'm fighting to try to get it back. I don't know what happened. But our Instagram, Maine Outdoor Adventures Instagram, you can follow us there too. I've been starting to post more on there. And if you want to get in touch with us, feel free to message us through the Instagram.
yeah. If you haven't, please like, subscribe.